Hello and welcome. This is CherylAMajor with ThinStrongHealthy.com and the HealthyEatingClub.com. And today I am having my weekly Ask Cheryl Anything call live on Facebook. Now, I will probably look at this afterwards and say, what was I thinking? Or, boy, I look nervous. Or, will I do this again? I think the answer is probably I'll probably do it better the next time, but I'm taking a leap of faith here and I want to reach as many people as possible. And I thought this would be fun. So today's topic on Ask Cheryl Anything is what's the deal with potatoes? It was actually, the topic was actually born out of a question, which I'll get to later, because when I have these Ask Cheryl Anything calls, I always open up to questions and people are welcome to email me ahead of time if they can't make the call live, and then I address the question. So the topic came from a question that I got earlier, a few days ago, from someone who asked me to weigh in on eating potatoes, skin, no skin. She actually has family in Europe and they don't believe that it's healthy to eat the skin of potatoes. So we'll get to that in a little bit, but right now I want to talk a little bit in general about potatoes. Should you eat them? Should you not? What's the deal between sweet potatoes and regular potatoes, white potatoes, whatever. For starters, sweet potatoes are the orange or reddish colored root vegetable that you see very often at the grocery store. And they're a member actually of the morning glory family. Factoid for you. They're not related to yams or to white potatoes. When I say white potatoes, I mean the round, very smooth skin potatoes that are white in the center. They could be red bliss potatoes. And sometimes they're purple potatoes. You can actually get Stokes purple potatoes, which are organic, and they're delicious. So sweet potatoes are usually longer and tapered at the ends. They have smooth colored skin and they can range in color from tan to yellow to red to purple. I actually just got some purple sweet potatoes the other day, and they are purple on the outside and they're purple on the inside. And I can't wait to cook them. We'll talk about how to cook these a little later on. Now, sweet potatoes flesh inside also varies from white to orange to red and to purple. As I mentioned, the ones that I got are purple on the outside, purple on the inside. And sweet potatoes are often softer and sweeter than either yams or white potatoes. Now, yams are an interesting subject because they are a tuber vegetable, as are sweet potatoes and regular potatoes, but they come from a very different, completely different family. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on yams just because we don't really see them here. And you may not be aware of this, but what are called yams in the grocery store are really sweet potatoes. Yams are very tough to find. And you really have to go to an ethnic store or an international grocery store to get real yams. Usually yams are steamed. And if you ever bake a yam in the oven, be very, very sure that you peel it ahead of time, because they have a very messy reputation for exploding in the oven if they're not peeled. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on yams. They're kind of tough and starchy and fibrous, and we're going to focus more on sweet potatoes and what we call our regular potatoes that those of us, most of us grew up with. So white potatoes are, as I said, we grew up with them. We're all familiar with them. They're in the grocery store. And they are actually part of the nightshade family, as are vegetables like eggplant, peppers, tomatoes. And there are many, many different types of regular potatoes like this. The typical ones that we see are russet, the red bliss, which are the red skinned with the white inside, and regular, white on the outside, white on the inside, or Yukon Gold, which are kind of yellow on the outside and yellow on the inside. So, so those are what we call our regular potatoes. And sweet potatoes have come into much more favor in the past 10 or so years. And we see them being eaten mashed, steamed, baked, I know that there's a lot of the mashed potato with marshmallows on top. I'm sorry, mashed sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top at holiday time. I got to tell you, the marshmallows are not a good idea, people. I kind of don't get it. I mean, if it's a family thing and you want to go for it at holiday season, knock yourself out. But you can make better choices by putting some grass-fed butter on top or some organic olive oil on top of your sweet potato, and just, lose the marshmallows. Not a great idea for you. Sweet potatoes have become a really good alternative to fries. Now, if you're eating out, you have to be very careful about those, and I will tell you why. I went in to have lunch with a friend in a shop, and I asked them, because I was, how sometimes you just want French fries. You just want them. And they had sweet potato fries. And I said, okay, this is going to be a better idea for me. So I said, because I often do this, I often ask, what kind of oil do you cook things in? How do you cook things? Because when you go out to eat, you are giving up control over what you're eating. So I said to the gentleman behind the counter, what kind of oil do you use with your sweet potato fries? And he very proudly said canola oil, because canola oil is widely believed to be healthy. It's not. It's really not. It has a very low smoke point. It is largely GMO, courtesy of Monsanto, because most of the canola oil is made for, well, canola oil, there's no such thing as a canola plant. First of all, let's back it up here. No such thing as a canola plant. It actually comes from the rapeseed plant, which needed to be reframed for obvious reasons, not a great connotation to rapeseed. So most of it is grown in Canada and is GMO courtesy of Monsanto. So it's in your best interest not to use canola oil. So I didn't get the sweet potato fries. I was really bummed, but it's in my best interest not to do that, and it would be in your best interest not to do that too. So sweet potatoes, you can put them in soups, and I have done that. I mash them up and use them to thicken soups. Really, really good, really yummy. And sweet potatoes are good for you too. They have a lot of nutrients, and that's one of the reasons why they're so popular. They have a massive amount of beta carotene, and that's the nutrient that our bodies turn into vitamin A. If you have sweet potatoes, it gives you a good amount of your vitamin C for the day. It gives you manganese, it gives you vitamin B6, it gives you potassium, copper, niacin, thiamine, and magnesium. So sweet potatoes are extremely healthy. And interesting factoid for a lot of us who are struggling with our blood sugar levels because of all the processed food and all the sugar that we eat, sweet potatoes actually help stabilize blood sugar. And they help your body become more sensitive to insulin. And with insulin resistance being a huge problem in this country, sweet potatoes will help you with that. So by all means, add sweet potatoes to your menu. Now, part of this is because they're high in fiber, and that fiber content slows down the absorption of sugar when you eat the sweet potatoes. So really, really good idea to add those to your menu. Now, I want to talk a little bit about white potatoes. They also have a lot of healthy minerals. They have fibers and carbohydrates, but they're certainly not the superstars that sweet potatoes are. They don't have all the health benefits. They belong to a totally different family than sweet potatoes do. White potatoes actually contain a good amount of vitamin C. They contain folate, which is a B vitamin. They have B6, they have potassium, they have manganese. They don't have the high levels of vitamin A or antioxidants that, that sweet potatoes have. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Excuse me, I'm gonna have some water here. I had a tremendous coughing fit not too long before I settled down to do this. So I was thinking, please don't let me have another one. So I haven't started doing that, but I do have a bit of a dry throat, so I'm gonna have some water. So your glycemic index is a marker that is a measure of how quickly your blood sugar will rise when you eat something. So your glycemic index for sweet potatoes is around 60, and white potatoes are higher at 75. So again, to reinforce the fact that for your blood sugar, for keeping your blood sugar under control, sweet potatoes are a better choice than white potatoes. If you're going to eat a regular potato that's not a sweet potato, you can actually find potatoes, as I mentioned, Stokes, organic purple potatoes, purple on the outside, purple on the inside. And then there are also red potatoes that are red on the outside and red on the inside. Now, sometimes you can be fooled, and I have fallen for this too. You say, oh, those look like the red ones that are red on the inside as well as on the outside, and you get them home and they're white. So they're more like a red bliss potato. But the purple ones and the red ones are they're very good. And they actually take longer to cook. I believe that's because they're just more dense. And it's a good rule of thumb when you're looking at food just to go for color. So the white flesh, you look at the red flesh and the purple flesh, or the yellow flesh of the Yukon Gold, you're much better off. You're heading in a healthier direction if you go with the red or the purple potatoes, just because there's more color. So regular potatoes, good for you. Sweet potatoes, really good for you. So sweet potatoes are the winners here, not by a whole lot, but by a significant enough amount in it. You check off enough boxes that sweet potatoes are a much better choice. So I want to go back to my friend Connie's question about potato skins. Good to eat or bad to eat? She believes they're good to eat. She has family in Europe who says, no, 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 you have to peel the skin of the potato. It's not good for you to eat. And I told her that she is actually the one who is right. Ding, ding, ding. In this instance, the potato skins are very good for you to eat. Now, that being said, if you are going to stuff them with cheese and bacon and all that stuff, that is not a great way to do it. You're much better off just to have a baked potato with the skin on and add a little sour cream, add some butter, add some parsley. Fresh parsley is fabulous, with a little grass-fed butter or olive oil. Wonderful. I steam them with the skins on. I bake them in the oven with the skins on, and it's so, so good because you just drizzle a little olive oil on them. You sprinkle them with salt, pepper. I like garlic powder, and I like dried onion flakes. And I want to emphasize that it's garlic powder, not garlic salt, because you don't want to overdo it on the salt. I mean, it's necessary to have salt, but we have so much in our diet with processed food that we want to be very careful when we're looking to add it to food that we're actually preparing from scratch. So be careful with that. But put that on parchment paper on a cookie sheet and put it in a 400-degree oven for 20 minutes or so. Turn them over, another 20 minutes or so, and you have delicious, delicious baked potatoes. And they've got a little crunch too. They're almost like a pan-fried potato, but they're baked in the oven. So I hope that you'll try that. Now, when you cook them in a healthy way, potato skins actually do contribute with health benefits. They provide us with potassium, with iron, and with niacin. And potassium and niacin help our bodies in helping cells function and messaging back and forth with one another. So potassium boosts your nervous system's cells, and niacin helps your body through physical stress. So potato skins are a really good idea as long as you prepare them in a healthy way. So any other questions? Let's see, I have a comment from someone. Actually, someone I went to high school with is making a comment. Okay. Hey, Rodney. Very good. All right. Do I have any other questions? Any other comments? I don't think so. So I think we'll call it a wrap for today. I want to thank you for joining me for Ask Cheryl Anything. I do try to do this every Tuesday afternoon, and you're always welcome to join. I don't know that it will always be a Facebook Live, it may be, but if you'd like to get on the list so that you know when it's just a Zoom call, you can go to thinstronghealthy.com, thinstronghealthy.com. And there is a box on the right-hand side. You can just sign in with your name and your email. And when you do that, you will be on the notification list so that you'll find out when I'm having these, whether it's Zoom or whether it's a Facebook Live. Like I said in the beginning, this is the first time I've done this and put it to a Facebook Live, so we'll see how this works. So would love to have you join me again. Would love to have you join me on my Thin, Strong, Healthy, and also take a look at the healthyeatingclub.com is a membership site I have to support you in learning to eat to be well, eat to be healthy, both mentally and physically. And couldn't we all use a little help with that these days? It's been a little challenging for a lot of us. So anyway, this is CherylAMajor with thinstronghealthy.com and the healthyeatingclub.com. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.